In this lesson, we will learn how to fetch values from a form. So in the previous lesson, we had seen how to declare a form, how to create a form, and this was the form we had created. There is one change we have done to it. So what is the change? We have said added here action is equal to basic form 1_2.jsp. So what does this mean? This means that when we click this submit the form button, this is the JSP that should be called. So this is where we are specifying what is our next JSP that we should call. Okay. So earlier in the previous one, we had just said form method is equal to post. Now we just adding this action is equal to basic form 1_2.jsp, which is the name of the JSP file where we have written the code where we will handle what to do once the submit button is pressed. And now in this lesson we will learn how to create the JSP file and write its code. Okay, rest this is exactly the same form. So this is what the form looks like, and when we click the submit button, where would we go? We would go to what we had specified here. What have we specified? Basic form 1_2.jsp. So what should we now do in basic form 1_2.jsp? So this is how we're trying to create our basic form 1_2.jsp. This is the form, this is the name of the file. So the first thing we are saying here is string name is equal to request.get parameter, and within quotes we have the keyword name. So this is how we are fetching values from the form. So request.get parameter is helping us fetch the values from the form, and we are giving it the keyword. Now how is the keyword name given and why is it being given? Let's go back to the form. The first thing we had said here was the first input we had put in the form was name. Input type is equal to text, which means it was a text box, and then we have said name is equal to name. So the name of this text box was name. Similarly, the name of the next text box was age, of the radio type was gender, of the drop down was qualification, and the checkbox was passport. So we can see everywhere we've used name is equal to qualification, name is equal to passport, name is equal to gender, name is equal to age, and name is equal to name. Now these are the keywords we are using here. So from the form we are getting the values that the user has input using request.get parameter and specifying them. So name, age, gender, qualification, and passport, because this is what we had specified in the form, and we are storing them in strings. Okay, once we have stored them in strings, what do? We need to print them. So how do we print them? This is how we will print them. So below that we will write this, so name colon, so this is HTML, so this will get printed in HTML, and then we are putting it within our JSP tags. So exactly the same JSP tags. So these are our JSP tags. So this is where we are writing our Java code. So this is what our JSP tags mean. So here we have written Java code. So similarly, this is now in HTML, and here within this we have printed our JSP variable. So same we are doing with age, we are doing with gender, we are doing with qualifications, and we are doing with passport. So this is how we are printing them. Now when we run it, let's try and run it and see. So this was a form, and say these are the values we have given it. James Cook, 24, we have selected male. Course done is BTech, and do you have a passport? Yes, we have checked it. So once we go to the next one, when we press the submit button, we go to basic form 1_2.jsp, and we are being able to print the values. So this is what we had selected or input in the form, and that is what is getting printed. Let's look at one more example. So here the name is Alex Barrett, age is 29, we have not selected the gender, course done is MCA, and we have not checked the checkbox for do you have a passport. So how will the values look like in such a case? When we press the submit button, we get name as Alex Barrett, age 29. Because we had not selected anything, gender has come out to be null, so we're getting null here. Qualifications is MCA, and passport is null. So this is how we have now taken values from a basic form and printed them in JSP. Okay.